She's like love, 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 and music. La, la, la. Love, 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 and music.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for Scandal. Season 7, Episode 9, Good People. Now, y'all know this is the last season, and I said I was not going to review, like, my other shows. I took a few notes, but I don't think I'm even going to look at them. You know, this episode, we basically see what happened from Quinn's perspective of things, and what happened from Papa Pope's perspective of the whole Quinn disappearance. So, like, the episode starts off, we see Papa Pope. I'm just going to say he's in Sears because it looks like a Sears store to me. And he's standing around looking to buy something. So I'm like, what is he trying to buy? So a salesman come up like, you know, well, do you need any help? And, you know, he's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to take a trip. And I'm like, what is he in Sears buying? Is he buying, like, a hacksaw? Is he buying some guns? What is he trying to get? Nope, he's buying some luggage. And he like, you know, I want this one. And the guy like, no, I don't get that one. People are always returning it. You know, this one is huge, it's big, it's sturdy, it can hold up to anything, it can carry a body. He maybe just said that, but he's insinuated if you need to put a body in, a body can go in it. So, of course, we see that he buys this big-ass suitcase. I'm looking like, what are you buying this big-ass suitcase from? Is this how he, you know, smuggled Quinn's body out of his house and to the car that he buried her in? Oh, God. So, you know, we see, next thing that we see is Quinn get on the elevator. And she's getting on there, and then the elevator stops, and we see Papa Pope looking down on her from above. Now, when we saw initially Quinn being taken or whatever, I would not have thought it was Papa Pope, simply because I don't see Papa Pope as like a little spy ninja. I see him as the overseer of the ninjas, but not a ninja himself. So I'm like, and he kind of older, you know? So how did Papa Pope get down from up above in the elevator shaft, you know, subdue Quinn, and then stuff her body in the suitcase that we then see him taken out of the elevator with her hair hanging out of it? So I'm like, he really had this whole thing planned. So, you know, we then see Quinn waking up, chained up in the basement. And we see how he kind of planned the whole thing. He like, you know, this double insulated, whatever, you know, can't nobody hear nothing, you know. The walls soundproof, you know, I made sure that no one would hear. I'm like, well, how long has he been planning this? And who did he order the soundproof walls from that he had them built so quickly? Didn't nobody think to say, why this man built in a dungeon in his basement? But I digress, you know, things happen. And we figure out that he is basically what he doing what he said he was going to do. He's trying to trade Quinn for his bones. And I'm like, all of this for some goddamn on bones? Like, are the bones magical? Like, I'm still wondering why he needs these bones. I'm like, is it because that is what he's done his whole life in the aspect of, I'm a science, he was a museum person? Well, whatever his job was, his cover as the head of B613, it's because that's all he has left. Is that why these bones are so important? I mean, does the bones have the answers to all the riddles of the world? I'm just like, you willing to do all this for some goddamn bones? Well, okay, you know, we then see, you know, the whole scene where Olivia comes to the restaurant and, like, you know, what do you want? Quinn's missing. I don't have time for this. Like, you know, I have Quinn, and, you know, if you're going to do what I say, give me my bones back, I'm going to kill her. So we see that whole thing. And, you know, we kind of see, you know, her saying, you know, whatever. And you're like, you know, I'm serious, Liv. So, you know, back at his house, we see how he's talking to a toy dinosaur. And I'm looking like, why is he talking to this damn toy dinosaur? Like, I'm confused. And I'm like, what's okay? Well, you know, maybe people have things they talk to. I don't have nothing. I talk to a mouse. Well, sometimes I pick up I have a keychain with my dad's ashes, a little memento that we have, and sometimes I do talk to it. I don't look at it and talk to it, but I'll see where it is, and I might look that way. But I'm like, he would like sat in front of the dinosaur and was like talking to it or whatever. And you know, like, I'm a killer if I don't get my bones. You know, if I don't get my bones, you know, 3 days and she's dead. And I'm like, is he going crazy? Okay, you know. And then we see one part when we see Jake comes into the house. You know, we see when him and Jake had that scene in the car, and Jake's like, you know, you're not as prepared as you think you are. You know, Liv is a whole different person. And he gets back in his house, and he see that Jake, when Jake said he wasn't as prepared as he thought, it's because Jake was in his house, and he had taken away all his guns. So he's pissed off. You can't take my guns. Ah! And I'm like, why you yelling at the dinosaur? But okay, you know, different strokes for different folks. So, you know, we see Papa Pope, and he go back to the store, and that same salesman is there. You know, hey, how you doing? He like, oh yeah, I'm trying to, you know, in the mood for something else. And now we see he buying a crib. I'm like, he buying a goddamn crib. He done told the little salesman that, you know, the crib was for his daughter, and, you know, he's just trying to be a good grandfather, a good father and everything. And I'm like, okay. So we then see, you know, he come in, you know, Quinn is up, and she's like, you know, this is crazy. You know, I need some food. I need to eat all the time because I'm pregnant. You know, I need to change the clothes. I need to take a shower. You know, I need this, I need this, I need this. And he looked at her like, you do know that you in captivity, right? And but she knew that he went to go talk to Olivia. And then she looked at him, and she was like, she said no. Oh my God, I'm already dead. Because she like, if she said no, you have no reason to keep me alive. And then he was like, you know, she's on a time clock. You know, it is what it is. And I'm like, okay. So Quinn kind of understands a little bit of what's going on. But she's also annoyed because Olivia said no. Olivia did not say yes knowing he had Quinn. That's one little realization. So from there, we see Papa Pope go to a bar, and he befriending the salesman dude. I'm looking like, how the hell did you find the salesman dude? Like, was it really a coincidence? No, yes, maybe. I don't know. But, you know, they talking and jiving and eating chicken wings and talking about how unfair the world is and how, you know, people, they try to change all the rules and the laws and stuff. And the guy that has happened to also happen in the army. He used to deliver babies in the army or whatever. And I'm like, he delivered babies, huh? Mental note. So the man, and they having such a good time, and they're like, you know what? You're such a good guy. You know what I'm saying? You're good people. You know, if you ever need anything, you know, from the store, just come in, you know, you can use my discount. We get 40% off. And he's like, what? You know, I can't do that. He like, no, it's okay. You just give me the cash. You know, I'll put it on my card, and then I'll buy it. You know, it's as if I'm buying it. You know, because you're good people. You're good people, Papa Pope. Even though he didn't call him Papa, he thinks his name was something different. So I'm like, this man don't know what he didn't got himself into. So, you know, we see Quinn is hallucinating a couple times in his basement. She's singing, you know, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Yeah, that's all I'm going to give y'all. So, yeah, she's singing in the basement. She's kind of hallucinating. So she hallucinates once, and she sees Charlie. And he's like, you know, you had to go this far to, you know, get away from me. So that's her little one hallucination. She has another hallucination when it's Huck. And Huck is like, you know, why are you still sitting here? You know, why aren't you trying to escape? He's kind of antagonizing her, saying, you know, you can't be just sitting here waiting to die. And he's like, you know, my leg has changed. I can't do anything. And he's like, you have to think, Quinn. And she's like, then he's like, you know, why did you tell anyone that Olivia, you know, did the assassination? You know, why you didn't tell me? You didn't tell Charlie. You didn't tell anyone. And she's like, I didn't want to tell anyone. And then, of course, he kind of leaves her mind. And she's like, you know, because if I told anyone, it would make it real. And that would mean that Olivia is a monster. Well, I mean, she kind of sort of is. You know, she's a whole different person. And, you know, Huck kind of comes back to her. This whole hallucination. And she's like, you know, he's not going to kill me. You know, he bought a crib. And Huck was like, Quinn, the crib isn't for you. The crib's for the baby. He's going to murder you. And she kind of like, oh, my God, he's going to deliver my baby and kill me. That's the plan, because why would he buy a crib? So, because I was saying, why the fuck did he buy a crib? But it was what it was. You know, we then see how Papa Pope go back to the store to the salesman. Hey, you know, I need to buy a gun. Can I just got to buy a gun? And he's like, wait, what? Why do you need a gun? He's like, you know, my grandbaby's going to be on the way. You know, I want to protect my home. I don't have any guns. So, you know, all the crazies in the world, you know, and they're trying to take our guns from us. You know how America is or whatever. And he's like, what if, you know, I buy the gun, you know, the gun will have to be in my name. he's like, well, yeah, we can do that. And in 3 months, we can transfer the guns to my name. Come on, don't you want to do it? Or, do you think that I don't deserve a gun? And he kind of made like a racial, indication about it. He's like, no, I don't, I don't think that. I think you're just as great as me. I think you're a normal person, whatever. He didn't convince this man to buy him a goddamn gun. I'm like, now this is some crazy ass shit. But, Papa Pope is good when he's talking. He's on his little rants and his little raves or whatever, so it was what it was. Because I'm like, a stranger can barely convince me to say hello, let alone buy them a goddamn gun. It just ain't gonna happen. So we then see that the toy dinosaur is actually a camera. And it's a camera that Jake put in the house that has been there this whole time. And that's why he talks to the dinosaur, because he's talking to Jake knowing he's being watched. And he's like, ha 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 ha, I got more guns. And I'm like, okay. He's like, she better recognize and respect that command is just a title, but I am the father. I'm like, he really on a rampage. Like, he seen, he said, but father is who I am. Bruh, I'm like, he is really, I rewound it a couple times, because I'm like, what is he talking about? I'm like, oh, command is just the name, but I am the father. Yeah, it's very, very true. So we then see Jake calling Olivia to come watch the footage of him yelling at this goddamn dinosaur, which is the camera, which then has Olivia go to his house, the scene that we saw before. When she's coming to say, I'm not taking the deal, you're not getting your bones. If Quinn has to die for the Republic, then she just has to die. And in the basement, Quinn is kind of hallucinating again, and she's talking to everyone from the office. She's talking to, Charlie's there, Huck, Abby. Why can't I ever remember the guy's name who's a new black guy? Why can't is it Jefferson? Is it Jefferson? We're going to call him Jefferson because I can't think what his name is. But anywho, they're all there and they all have their different ideas. Like, Liv is here to save you. No, she's not. She's going to let you die. So she's having all these different conversations with them or whatever. And, she's like, I need to try to escape. And so she's trying to find like a box is down there. But she's like, she gets the box. Nothing's in it. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to die. He's going to kill me. So we then see, him walk down the stairs to go kill Quinn. And when he get down the stairs, he don't see her. He just sees the boxes that's laying there. And then out of nowhere, Quinn and him is tussling because she didn't got the chain around his neck. And that's how his hand got cut and where the blood came from before. And, he shoots one time and then he's like, Olivia can't win. And he's holding the gun to her. And then she's like, please don't kill me. Just please don't kill me. Wait till I have my baby. Please don't do it. And you hear, pow, and a gun go off. And he go back upstairs, covered in blood. And, his hand is bleeding, but the hand is bleeding from the whole tussle thing. And we see Olivia saying to him, wait a few days and, bring her body back. We have to bury her. We can't just leave her in the ditch somewhere. We can't leave her somewhere because Huck will never stop looking for her. We have to have a body. But then, she leaves. He goes back downstairs, and we see he didn't kill her. Now, I said last week, Quinn ain't dead. I said it because I'm like, it just don't make sense for Quinn to be dead. It just don't make no sense. I said that before they even showed the baby at the end of the episode. I'm like, Quinn ass ain't dead. This just don't make any sense. Not how they played it out to be that way. So we then see a rewind, and we see why she's in the basement talking to whoever. We see that she remembers that hairpin in her hair. The hairpin was able to unlock her cuffs, and that's how she got the chain loose or whatever. And she was loose. And she heard Olivia not react to her death. So, when he come back downstairs and she's like, you got what you want, you can let me go now. And he's like, well, you might as well come upstairs now. You don't need to change. Let's come, let's talk. And they up in the kitchen. She drinking some water. He having some wine. And then her water break. I'm like, God damn it. so now she in labor, and she's like, okay, we have to go to the hospital. You have to call Charlie. And he's like, no, she thinks you're dead. You can't go anywhere. And she's like, please let me go. Please let me go. And he's like, no. He then drugs her, which knocks her out. And I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to drug a pregnant woman with a needle in the neck. I don't think that's supposed to happen. So she's knocked out, but she's coming to. And as she's coming to, the salesman, whose name was Marvin, is there. Because, again, he delivered babies. So he's like, oh my God, I can't believe this, I could do more if you had knocked her out, I can't believe this, So as Papa Pope and Marvin is talking, Quinn is hallucinating that their voices are the people from the office. We see Jefferson, we see Abby, we see Charlie, we see all of them. So as the doctor is saying, push, 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 she hears Charlie voice saying, push, push. So she's having this whole hallucination thing or whatever. And then she has the baby. She has the baby, and she goes back to sleep or whatever. It's all over. And she kind of comes back to, and you see Papa Pope holding the baby all swaddled and all nice and cleaned off and all whatever. She's like, my baby. He's like, oh, she's right here. She's beautiful. She's healthy. She's whatever. Gives her the baby. Oh, I saw a guy here. He's like, yeah, that's my friend Marvin. He helped do this, secretly. And she's like, thank you so much. And he's like, I know you're scared, but you can't leave just yet. You have to stay for a little while until we can figure out what else to do. And she's like, okay, that's fine or whatever. She's in the bed. He's like, all right, I have to go clean up the basement. I'll be back because you need to feed the baby. She's like, okay. So, she's walking around, and before he walks out, because it's a room that she's in Olivia's old room. It's a crib, it's diapers, it's all this stuff that he didn't bought, all this that he didn't get Marvin to get him with 40% off. He said to Marvin, yeah, my daughter's gonna need all new stuff for the baby. So he didn't use this man discount, the man didn't help him buy a gun, the man didn't help him birth the baby, all this stuff. And she's like, oh my God, Quinn says to Papa Pope, you're such a good person. He's like, yeah, when someone allows you to be, you can't be a good person. So he leaves to give her time to feed the baby. So she's looking around the room, and she's seeing all the clothes. And the clothes go from, 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, 6.5 months, 9 to 12 months, 12 to 18 months, up to 24 months. And she's like, this is enough for 2 years. So she's like, what? So she's looking, she sees it's so much stuff. It's enough until the baby is 2. And she kind of walks out the room. Like, what's going on? There's enough clothes here for 2 years. How long do you think I'm going to be here? And as she walked down the stairs with the baby and swaddled, she sees Marvin on the floor, dead, gunshot to the head. And she's like, you're a monster. And he was like, no, mothers and children come first. You knew that. And, and she's like, but you killed it. He was like, no. His name was Marvin. He was a great person. He was my friend. He was a good person. And he was my only friend. But women and children come first. So don't you lecture me, don't you preach to me. Because she was going to preach to him about killing him. And he like, I had to kill him for you. Because if I didn't kill him, then hey, one of y'all had to go. And you made me choose him. Because women and children come first. In B613. We don't kill women and children. I'm like, oh. And then when he said that, she got down on the floor. And she helped him clean the blood up. And I'm like, okay, Scandal. Okay. You give me something I can work with this time. I did not like the first part of this season. I did not. But I'm getting into it. So I have not watched How to Get Away with Murder yet. I will probably not watch that until tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little recap. And until next time, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner.